Imagine you're walking through your office building late at night. The lights flicker. The air feels heavier than usual. You turn a corner, and it's not your office anymore. You're standing in an endless maze of yellowed wallpaper, damp carpets, and buzzing fluorescent lights. You've slipped unknowingly into a place outside of reality. Welcome to the Backrooms, an infinite, alternate dimension where reality breaks and escape becomes a fading hope. But what exactly is this place? How did the Backrooms begin? And why has this eerie internet myth grown into one of the most unsettling modern horror phenomena of our time? Because beneath the memes, viral videos, and creepypastas, some claim the Backrooms may reflect something disturbingly real. A liminal space that taps into collective fears, government secrecy, and perhaps even dimensional instability. Tonight on Zen Echoir, we journey through the entire history of the Backrooms, explained from A to Z. Before we begin our descent, make sure you subscribe to Zen Echoir. Here, we investigate horror not just to scare, but to reveal. Subscribe now and join thousands who dare to confront the unknown. Let's open the first door. The Backrooms, in their most basic description, are an infinite maze of empty rooms, forgotten hallways, and surreal office-like spaces. But what gives this setting its uniquely terrifying aura is not just the architecture, it's the liminality. First, let's define what is a liminal space. It is a transitional area or time that exists between two places or stages of life. It's often described as an in-between state, signifying a boundary where one place ends and another begins. Liminal spaces represent transitional zones, like empty airports at midnight, abandoned malls, or vacant hotel corridors. These places feel wrong because they exist between states, and the Backrooms take that unsettling atmosphere to its extreme. At its core, the Backrooms is described as an alternate dimension, one accessible only by no clipping out of reality itself. The term no-clip, borrowed from video game terminology, refers to moving through solid objects or boundaries unintended by the game's design. In the case of the Backrooms, this means slipping through reality's thin spots, whether by accident, by glitch, or by something more sinister. The Backrooms originated from a single anonymous post on 4chan's paranormal board on May 12, 2019. The post contained a seemingly random image, an empty yellow room with stained carpet and buzzing fluorescent lights. Paired with the now famous text, there was no author name, no formal lore, no context. Yet, within days, this eerie concept went viral. Soon, Reddit communities like Our Backrooms emerged, and the myths expanded rapidly. Internet users began to add their own levels, entities, rules, and survival guides. What began as a creepy photo became a fully collaborative horror world. The true explosion of Backrooms popularity happened between 2020 and 2022, fueled by the pandemic, internet culture, and viral short-form video platforms like TikTok. One of the most significant contributors was YouTuber Kane Pixels, whose found footage Backrooms videos, using hyper-realistic 3D rendering, captivated millions. His series painted a terrifyingly plausible visual version of the Backrooms, adding secretive government experiments and missing persons into the narrative. At the same time, ARGs, alternate reality games, TikTok videos, and creepypastas spread across every major social platform, feeding into the mythos with a disturbing consistency. Mainstream media outlets, including Polygon, Vice, and The Verge began publishing articles dissecting the phenomenon. What was once a niche internet post had mutated into a modern horror sensation. The unsettling aspect of the Backrooms isn't just its fictionality. It's that it mirrors real-world locations many have actually visited. Empty office spaces, hotel conference centers, long-forgotten suburban malls, parking structures at night. These liminal places feel backroom-like because they're eerily familiar, yet deeply unsettling when vacant. The terror of the Backrooms lies not in monsters, but in existential dread. Being trapped in a monotonous, infinite maze evokes deep psychological fears. These includes fear of isolation, fear of endless monotony, fear of being forgotten, fear of losing grip on reality itself. It's horror through spatial repetition, where the absence of change itself becomes oppressive. The human mind, craving novelty and markers of progress, breaks down under such conditions. The brain recognizes something is deeply wrong, but can't fully articulate why. While the Backrooms may seem empty at first, many believe its corridors are far from uninhabited. The deeper one ventures, the more disturbing the inhabitants become. The community-created lore has categorized dozens of creatures known as entities, each with distinct behaviors, levels, and dangers. Some theories even propose these beings are echoes of previous victims, parasitic life forms, or manifestations of corrupted consciousness. Entity number 1 is the Smilers. Smilers are perhaps the most iconic of Backrooms entities. Only their unnaturally wide smiles and glowing eyes are visible in dark areas. They do not chase victims outright. Instead, they linger at the edges of light sources, drawing explorers deeper into darkness. Sudden movements or direct eye contact may provoke attacks, often leading to psychological breakdowns or physical assaults. Speculative accounts suggest that Smilers may be remnants of lost wanderers, their human forms long devoured, leaving only predatory mimicry behind. Entity number 2 is the Skin Stealers. Skin Stealers are grotesque parasites that wear the skin of their victims as disguises. At first glance, they may appear human, but their stiff movements, incorrect speech patterns, and occasional spasms betray their true nature. In deeper levels, Skin Stealers often ambush lone wanderers, sometimes luring them with fake cries for help. Entity number 3 is the Hounds are highly aggressive quadrupedal predators, often described as twisted dog-human hybrids. They roam both level 1 and level 2, attacking without provocation. Theorists suggest these creatures may be the result of biological experiments, failed hybrids created by secret organizations tied to the deeper lore of the Backrooms. Entity number 4 is the Facelings. Facelings are passive or neutral entities that resemble humans, but lack any facial features. Most seem unaware of explorers. However, in certain levels, aggressive variants exist. Their origins remain one of the Backrooms' greatest mysteries. Are they failed human copies? Digital avatars of lost consciousness? Or perhaps echoes of an earlier failed reality? Entity number 5 is the Partygoers. Partygoers are among the most terrifying entities due to their deceptive nature. At first, they lure victims with decorations, colorful rooms, and the illusion of safety. But once trust is gained, victims are invited to join the eternal party, forcibly transformed into partygoers themselves. Internet lore often links partygoers to MK Ultra style mind control theories, where victims are psychologically broken and reprogrammed as grinning, obedient puppets. The Backrooms community has cataloged hundreds of additional entities: death moths, clumps, dullers, insanities, and the ominous entity Zero, rumored to be the architect of the entire backroom system. On deep web forums, some even speculate that these creatures may not be fiction, but echoes of extra-dimensional parasites glimpsed during altered states of consciousness or military experiments. Surviving the backrooms isn't about strength. It's about understanding the rules. Communities have compiled extensive survival protocols based on recurring reports. Rule number 1 is to stay calm. Panic increases your chances of encountering hostile entities and losing your sense of direction. Many victims report getting looped into the same rooms repeatedly while panicking. Rule number 2 is to conserve resources. Water, food, and light are finite. Some levels contain consumables, but caution is advised, as many are tainted or traps. Rule number 3 is to trust no one. Not all humans encountered are truly human. Many skin stealers and partygoers mimic human behavior to bait victims. Rule number 4 is to listen carefully. Audio cues, buzzing intensities, distant footsteps, or static distortions often signal nearby entities or level shifts. Rule number 5 is to avoid certain levels like level 2, maintenance tunnels, level 6, complete darkness, and level 9, shifting suburbia. These levels present extreme dangers and unpredictable geometry. Rule number 6 is to memorize safe zones communities, like the MEG, Major Explorer Group. It is a fictional backrooms organization. It claims to map and secure certain outposts. These are considered temporary safe zones. Among darker circles of Reddit and 4chan, disturbing theories suggest these survival guides are not just fictional role play, but leaked information from classified experiments. Some claim the backrooms may reflect actual government testing in quantum computing, dimensional instability, and consciousness manipulation. One highly speculative theory alleges that military research into controlled no-clip zones during the Cold War led to accidents, creating unstable rifts into alternate dimensions. Others believe the backrooms function as a simulation anomaly, a literal buffer zone where corrupted data, broken souls, and discarded realities accumulate like digital trash. But how far does this rabbit hole truly go? Are the backrooms merely collaborative horror fiction, or do disturbing real-world parallels suggest a far more sinister reality beneath the myth? The backrooms may have originated as fiction, but its unsettling similarity to real-world cases is what fuels its psychological grip. David Paulides, former law enforcement officer, has spent years compiling the missing 411 reports, detailing hundreds of unexplained disappearances in U.S. national parks. Victims vanish suddenly, often within eyesight of others. Search dogs lose scent trails instantly, and some victims are found in bizarre locations, miles from where they disappeared, often barefoot, sometimes with missing clothing. These vanishings occur in liminal spaces, remote forests, cave systems, mountain ranges, places where reality seems thin. While no official link to the backrooms exists, online theorists argue these cases reflect real-world no-clipping events, accidental slips into unstable zones, mirroring backrooms mechanics. One of the darker speculative theories suggests that certain governments may have stumbled upon, or even created, access points to backrooms-style dimensions. Projects like Montauk, Philadelphia Experiment, and MK Ultra are frequently cited as precursors to secretive research into dimensional instability and mind control. Several real-world locations eerily resemble Backrooms environments. Hashima Island, Japan, Battleship Island, Pripyat, Ukraine, Chernobyl exclusion zone, frozen urban decay, entire neighborhoods trapped in time. Zhongnanhai Underground Complex, China, allegedly vast subterranean military installations. Cheyenne Mountain Complex, USA, deep military base with self-contained corridors resembling artificial liminal space. These places inspire both fascination and dread. Many who suffer from sleep paralysis describe experiences that eerily mimic backroom sensations. These sensations include being trapped in unfamiliar rooms, auditory hallucinations of buzzing or footsteps, shadowy figures observing silently. Some psychologists argue the backrooms myth may tap into a universal human vulnerability, the liminal state between waking and sleeping. Certain fringe theorists even link the backrooms to the Mandela effect, the mass misremembering of facts and events. The disturbing levels of the backrooms. As the lore expanded, the backrooms became far more than yellow hallways. Multiple levels emerged, each more disturbing. Level 0, the endless yellow maze. Level 1, industrial darkness, humming machines. Level 2, dangerous entities, heat, endless pipes. Level 3+, complex architectural horrors, flooded tunnels, hotel mazes, infinite office buildings. Level 999, the end, theorized as a broken simulation point. These levels mirror terrifying aspects of liminal space horror, the fear of places we recognize but feel disturbingly wrong. The secret organizations inside the backrooms. Many theorize that powerful secret groups operate within the backrooms. MEG, Major Explorer Group, and organized faction mapping levels, establishing safe zones and battling entities. BNTG, Backrooms Non-Aligned Trade Group, a black market trading group. Rumors suggest they perform dark experiments on survivors, the followers of Jerry, a cult worshipping a parrot-like entity named Jerry. Some theorize Jerry represents AI mind control experiments, a mimetic consciousness gone rogue. Eyes of Argos, a shadow paramilitary group. Some claim they represent real-world secret agencies managing interdimensional breaches. These factions reflect real-world, deep-state conspiracies, black-budget programs, and secret research into dimensions and AI. Controlled access to the backrooms. Could the backrooms be more than just fiction? Theory 1. Government dimensional testing. Some suggest governments accidentally discovered unstable dimensional breaches and are running human tests. The early levels, bland office spaces, may stabilize human perception to avoid mental collapse. Theory 2. Psychological warfare experiments. The backrooms mirror extreme MK Ultra-style experiments. Sensory deprivation, loss of identity, cognitive collapse, perfect conditions for mind control research. Theory 3. Post-singularity, digital prison. The most horrifying theory suggests the backrooms exist inside corrupted quantum simulations, glitched data structures, corrupted recursion loops, broken rendering engines. In this view, the backrooms are failed AI-generated afterlives or simulations for digital consciousness experiments. Liminal space horror. Why the backrooms feel so real? At its core, the backrooms terrify because they reflect something familiar, but subtly wrong. Liminal spaces like empty airports, vacant malls, or deserted schools feel unsettling. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. Your brain recognizes the space but senses danger. The backrooms amplify this. Endless repetition, monotony, isolation, identity erosion. The horror isn't monsters, it's existential dread. Anti-narrative horror, the fear of meaninglessness. Unlike classic horror with killers or demons, the backrooms offer no villain, no escape, no resolution. You're trapped forever. This is anti-narrative horror. No climax, no meaning, pure existential terror. Nexpo calls this horror without a face. Monotony as modern horror. The backrooms symbolize something millions experience today. 9-to-5 corporate grind, cubicle isolation, surveillance capitalism, loss of purpose. This horror resonates because many already feel trapped in endless monotony without escape. The creeping fear of non-being, more terrifying than death, is being erased. No contact, no identity, no recognition. Victims inside the backrooms suffer endless sensory deprivation, spatial disorientation, and ego death, like extreme solitary confinement or psychosis. The collective nightmare theory. Some believe the backrooms aren't a place, but a shared psychological construct, a collective digital myth, a viral cognitive glitch spread by the internet, a 21st century myth fueled by social media, memes, and modern anxiety. Like shared dreams, many across Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube report eerily similar liminal dreams. Simulation theory connection. The backrooms feed into the growing simulation theory. No clipping mirrors, physics engine failures. Repeating patterns resemble corrupted algorithms. Infinite recursion reflects broken code loops. Perhaps the backrooms represent memory cache overflow inside a failing simulation, where consciousness occasionally drifts accidentally. Modern horror perfected. The backrooms terrify on multiple levels: existential dread, loss of identity, endless monotony, familiar places corrupted into horror. It's horror designed for 21st century fears, corporate dehumanization, information overload, technological dependence, social media loneliness. The backrooms don't kill, they erase. The final horror, it's already real. Even if the backrooms aren't physically real, they reflect our world disturbingly well. Empty office towers post-pandemic, abandoned shopping malls overtaken by e-commerce, corporate spaces emptied by remote work, cities filled with silent skyscrapers. Liminal space isn't fiction, it's everywhere and growing. The real terror isn't being trapped inside, it's realizing we already are. What do you think? Is the backrooms just internet myth or terrifying reflection of modern reality? Drop your theories below. Like, subscribe to Zen Echoir, share with fellow explorers of the unknown, and always remember, stay vigilant. The walls may be thinner than you think,